This PowerPoint is for the GetIn2 project and applying for a funding bid. Before I get started, I do have to say the GetIn2 project is actually in the process of applying for a funding bid itself, and some information I wasn't allowed to get or keep or show. So I'm going to have to run through again what the GetIn2 project is about, because unfortunately Carl's wasn't available for me to do the interview with. So just to recap, the GetIn2 project is a UCLan based project that helps people that are struggling finding sports or not liking competitive sports or anything along the lines, actually go out and play sports in selected time slots. There has been quite a few sports added over the time, so, to say futsal and badminton and table tennis have all been added into slots at the Tom Finney Centre and the UCLan Sports Arena. They also added sports like 11-a-side football with referees and teams creating their own fixtures and everything to make it seem authentic for people who still want to compete in sports. They have focused on a variety of different sports because not everyone likes the mainstream sports like futsal or actual football. We do get a decent turnout to the GetIn2 project each week because it's full of people who play sports for UCLan and people who don't necessarily have the time to play sports for the actual university itself. The GetIn2 project came about through Carl. Carl actually made the GetIn2 project happen by running the idea up and applying for a funding bid through the National Lottery, and he received a grant of £147,237 to get the scheme started. When the scheme was started, we had paid staff turning up to the events to manage and sort out and get things running, but unfortunately, since the money isn't constant, we had to get rid of the paid staff and mainly run it off volunteers now. I'm wanting to try get some more money with applying for the funding bid to be able to get more sports involved and also get some paid staff back into helping the GetIn2 project flow more, because unfortunately we're lacking in volunteers, so it's just mainly a couple of us and Carl running the projects. I intend to apply for a funding bid or work with Carl, as I have been doing, to apply for the funding bid to help get more people involved, not just staff but more students involved, getting more sports out, getting things built for people with disabilities who want to participate in sports, and a main one for us that we've talked about and stressed is women participation, especially in the futsal area that I mainly worked in or volunteered in. We had a few women turn up, but not many, and it wasn't on a regular basis that these people were turning up. So we're wanting to try and get more people out there, more women out there involved in sports, ones that like football, the ones that like badminton, or the ones along them lines. So we're after trying to get a professional woman coach involved, at least for a little bit, to try and get the word out and help more women come down and get involved, because we think it'd be better if a woman coach was able to get women more interested in playing sports. And we also want to get more equipment, more sports, and also again disability interest, because we're mainly focusing on getting people in to the club. We've not mainly focused on people with disabilities or women's sports specifically, because we're trying to keep the GetIn2 project running and hopefully keep a funding income. Accommodation plans is especially getting paid staff in, which is what we're trying to do with the funding bit. We can get them to go around to accommodations to try and get more people involved at their place of living in case they don't have time to come or know about the GetIn2 projects. We go to them, it gives them a better idea, and also most likely get us a bigger turnout when the events are held at Tom Finney or at the Yukon Sports Arena. It's not all about high intense sports. When we go to accommodations, it's mainly stuff like table tennis and badminton. Again, it's stuff that are easy to take and able to play at an accommodation. We also know that sports help knowledge. There is a reference that we'll come to at the end that states that playing sports while learning is a better way for information and knowledge to be gained. So we intend to go to accommodations and get people from studying, get them to take a break and enjoy playing sports before they have to go back and carry on finishing work. That's my reference. With the funding bit, I am able to show and talk about a little bit of the application process, but unfortunately some parts are missed out because of information I'm not allowed to share because of Carl. We're again applying through Sport England and the and talking about what we intend to do in as little information as I'm allowed to give. The first step is the organisation purpose. It's all about what we do, what we intend to do, and why we're doing it. It's again stressed more on where it's at and all the information of Carl himself and the university and the plans that basically selling our ideas to Sport England to be able to get more information and so Sport England know where to check where their money is being spent and if it's being spent properly. We also have to give some information from Carl as well. The Sport England asked us to talk about the project ideas and what we intend to do, so we can stress the fact that we've already applied for a funding bid and received it. I'm just talking about how we want to expand more on the GetIn2 project by adding women into sport and disability into sport as well. Then it goes on to ask about why we're needed where we are and what our purpose is for being where we are and how it benefits the community. And we've talked about it benefits students because it's free to join, it's free to play, it's getting them more active in sport, which is what Sport England intend for people in the communities to do. So the idea of the GetIn2 project is to help people or help people not stress as much on university. It will also give them a reason to keep active and gives them a place to play the sports that they like to play. It asks us about our target audience and what we and why we're targeting just them. And since it's a university-based scheme, our audience will be university students. It's not a specific age that we're focusing on. We focus on all ages throughout the university. So that was being stressed, and the reason for our location is because it's run at the SU within the University of Central Lancashire. It also says why we're needed, and the reason why we are needed is because it helps people get enjoyment, play the sports that they like, and basically gives them a place to unwind and carry on, enjoy sports. The long-term effect of the GetIn2 project is to obviously throughout the people who come and go at the university, giving them a place to play sports, and as long as the university keeps getting students, we will keep getting a bigger turnout, because the GetIn2 project is quite widely advertised throughout the university, especially in the SU student union. And that's the end of it.